Welcome to TechZine.tv.
Welcome to a new episode of TechSign TV. We're still at HPE Discover, and we're talking to Jules Johnston, who is SVP of Global Channels and Alliances at Digital Realty. Welcome.
Thank you.
And of course, my co-host Sander is also here.
Yes, I am. Very interesting because Digital Realty is one of the biggest, providers of data center services in the world, right? So it's interesting to talk about how they use HPE in there or are planning to use basically.
That's
because
right.
You are actually in the process of you selected HPE as for especially then private cloud business edition for your data centers, right?
That's right. And we are the largest data center provider globally, over 300 data centers, and it is the standardization on HPE Private Cloud Business Edition that we're super excited to
Yeah.
announce that today.
Because usually when you say stuff when we talk about HPE Private Cloud Business Edition, and in combination with providers like yourself, it is also about how HPE puts it into that data centers and provides services from those data centers, right? But this is different, right? So you actually selected it to use yourself.
We did. We selected it to use ourselves because we are ourselves also a large enterprise. So I mean, Digital Realty, although we operate those 300 data centers in 6 continents and 26 countries, that's a serious infrastructure. We have internal needs, and at the same time, we wanted a solution that will also contemplate the customers that we have in common, and so it does both. And we
What's the added value of using an infrastructure that your customers also use? How does that make your service delivery better towards your customers?
So some of the same needs that we have, our customers would have. So we chose Private Cloud Business Edition as a private cloud platform. We were looking for something that was globally consistent, cost effective, that would also allow us to scale compute flexibly. So we were really looking for the storage with compute flexibly and not sort of feeling trapped into excessive compute or over provisioning of that. Customers have those same kinds of concerns, but also for us, in given what we do in operating those data centers, customers who come to us, they want those same things I just mentioned, but they also want and expect the ability to be able to logically and physically separate
Mhm.
their workloads and their infrastructure, and those are required for sovereign requirements. Those are required. To separate customer to customer. And so, we are doing that for ourselves, but our customers
Yeah.
require that.
I was going to say, I mean, especially where we're from in Europe,
Yes.
that's a big deal nowadays, right? The sovereignty and being able to separate everything, no multi-tenancy, so keep it on the same tenant, everything.
And those needs, especially in Europe, are only on the rise. And so that makes it all the more important to have central orchestration and an ease of management of that. So what we wanted to do was be able to offer that kind of protection and logical physical separation. But as the operators,
Yeah.
we wanted to be able to do that in an easy, centralized fashion. We wanted to orchestrate that centrally so that that saves us a great deal of time and money, and it allows us to resolve anything much quicker.
I'm quite curious because you mentioned being able to scale, right? That's
Yeah.
a requirement from your customers,
It
but
is.
also from you. I'm just curious, why do you need to be able to scale? I mean, obviously you grow
Mhm.
and you do acquisitions, maybe every now and again, and then they need to be incorporated. But other than that, why do you need to have a scalable platform as Digital Realty?
Well, I mean, it's important that we as an enterprise become ever more efficient and more reliable. And so, I mean, there's TCO cost savings to us. That's important as a
Yeah.
for-profit company.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that, and we are seeing the benefits of that. And so, I mean, the scalability pays off in lower cost of hardware for us, fewer trouble tickets, less risk of over provisioning.
Yeah.
So we also appreciate the flexibility for this, we can scale up and down our compute needs
Mhm.
without over provisioning. That for us is a savings, makes us more efficient. So we're committed to doing that as an enterprise. And then, for customers, the ability to act uniformly across a global platform is really important to large enterprises. As many of them move, either they repatriate back from the cloud as they expand globally. Having a single interface with one global data center provider is important. And so for us to provide that uniform experience, having a uniform tool.
Yeah, makes sense.
And are you going to put this in one data center for your own purposes, or are you going to do this in many?
We're going to do it across the entire platform. So we're committed to do it across over 300 data centers globally.
That's a lot.
It is.
Nice customer for HPE, I think.
Yeah.
for this solution.
And are they going to be integrated across 300 as well, or is that a bit separate?
We integrate those through our service fabric. So we connect our data centers. So yes, they are connected. But we also, you mentioned, so this does make us a very large customer of HPE PCBE. It also for us is a very logical extension of our alliance, because we are working with HPE on joint go-to-market so that we can, in fact, I think very credibly attest to our belief in the PCBE product and platform, and go with HPE to the market to also offer Digital Realty as a destination that's already established and rolled out. HPE.
Yeah, because you're going to do a lot of knowledge internally, how it works, how it operates, how you can use it more effectively. So you're probably going to offer it more to customers as well.
That's right. And we're hoping, that in-house knowledge, that firsthand experience is credible to customers, and that they, that in turn will help them to sort of, I think, trust that will be a great place to deploy their PCBE, because we ourselves have put it there.
And are you focusing on certain workloads in the beginning, or is it all over the place?
So is the question which workloads?
Yeah.
I think customers will choose those. And since the platform supports such a wide variety, we'll be able to support this.
Really don't specialize in certain.
No, not particularly.
Okay.
I was just curious. I was stepping back a bit, or rewinding the clock a little bit. How you ended up selecting HPE for this? Because there are many other. I mean, you must have done sort of an outreach or a RFP, RFQ, whatever you did. And so, what made you decide to actually go for HPE and not the?
Well, for one thing, so some of the hyperscale type solutions that we took a look at, some of those didn't offer the same flexibility in growing the compute, or if they did, it was only at the premium tiers. So for us, that cost benefit was really found with HPE's flexible option, and it was as resilient as we needed. And it would also give us that sort of flexibility and the cost savings and the consistency we're looking for, and not require us to be locked in at premium tier.
And is it flexibility? So you have flexibility in compute, you have flexibility in storage, and so
maybe even in pricing, I guess. Even in pricing, I guess you can have flexibility. I don't know which one was the best for you.
Yeah, we found that was compelling.
Okay.
We did.
It was a good deal. That's it. Yes.
I'll leave them to price it for themselves, but yes, we found it compelling.
Yeah, you mentioned the word AI. Was it a big driver for this decision?
It is, in that we ourselves are using AI in better service to our customers, but we are the home for many customers' private AI. So as customers increasingly select technologies from HPE and others that have higher density power requirements, they have liquid cooling requirements. Those customers are increasingly finding they can't home those in their old data center or their old prem-based data center. They need a co-location environment, a global platform that can handle those kinds of workloads, the power and the cooling. And so we're increasingly a choice where customers would want to land their AI pilots and ambitions. And if they do that at Digital Realty, they're proximate to the hybrid cloud on-ramps. And it's a really great way for them to sort of re-architect their prem, the new on-prem being co-location.
And just sort of wrapping it up, when is this a success in your view, right? So probably when you can, if the TCO is good, right? I mean, and you've already done those calculations, I think.
Yes.
But from a customer perspective, so from your customer perspective, when is this successful for you?
Well, I think for us, it will be that because we are already confident that we will realize the benefits as an enterprise. For us, success will be that our mutual customers of HPEs and Digital Realties see this and see the benefits to doing their own version or size deployment similarly across the Digital Realty footprint.
Yeah, because that would make it more integrated and more interesting for everybody, right?
That's right. So we hope customers will follow our lead and home their HPE PCBE at Digital Realty.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. Thank you, Jules, for joining us on TechSign TV. And we'll be back for more videos from HPE Discover.
Thank you for watching TechScene TV, the channel about enterprise technology that brings you IT insights and analyses from events all around the globe. We cover everything, everywhere. Visit techscene.eu for more written in-depth articles and analysis, or keep watching techscene.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels and share your favorite videos with your colleagues. We'll see you soon.